Welcome to today's Flying Talkers broadcast. Thanks for spending a little time with me. I want to share a story about a man whose name still carries weight in aviation, especially in air cargo. Jacques Onchair. As I speak to you here in late April 2026, Jacques is at home in the Netherlands, alive and well, celebrating his 86th birthday week. He was born on April 29, 1939. And even though he stepped away from the business years ago in September 1999, for many of us it still feels like his presence is nearby, like he could walk back into the room at any moment. Some careers end and quickly become history. His didn't. His influence stuck. Jacques concluded his time at KLM Cargo on September 1, 1999, after serving as executive vice president of cargo. By then, he wasn't simply running an operation. He had helped turn KLM Cargo into a worldwide force in logistics at a time when the industry was still figuring out what global truly meant. And the key point is this: he didn't just oversee air freight. He reshaped the way people thought about what air cargo could become. Back in the period when many companies were only beginning to separate into real business units, Jacques pushed KLM Cargo to stand on its own. He gave it identity, strategy, and strength. Instead of keeping everything clustered at headquarters, he moved cargo closer to where the work and movement actually happened, centered around Schiphol in Amsterdam. He built dedicated teams, not just at home, but across Europe, Asia, and the Americas. That might sound obvious now. At the time, it was a statement. He was designing a worldwide structure before globalization became the fashionable word everyone used. What set Jacques apart was the way he connected dots other people didn't even see. Plenty of leaders looked at aircraft, capacity, and routes. Jacques looked past the airplane. He thought in terms of the whole logistics chain: what happens on the ground, what customers need, how partners fit in, and how all of it should work as one system. That mindset helped push KLM toward things that later became essential: advanced cargo facilities, road feeder networks that extended reach beyond airports, and even early approaches to outsourcing lift. Today, those ideas are normal. Back then, they were pioneering. But when people talk about Jacques, the conversation doesn't stop at strategy. They talk about what it felt like to work with him. He wasn't the kind of executive who simply issued instructions and expected silence. He drew ideas out of people. He made talent feel always seen. And there's a perfect example from the mid-1990s when he reorganized KLM Cargo. He didn't treat it like a top-down exercise. He pulled in teams from around the world and invited them into the work of building the future. That approach created something you can't manufacture with memos: ownership. And with ownership came loyalty. A lot of people who served under Jacques later went on to lead major organizations across the industry. Many of them will tell you that their passion for air cargo was born in those years, under leadership of Jacques Onchair. He also had a gift for balance, which is rare in this business. He understood the constant tension between airlines, forwarders, and customers. Those relationships can be complicated, and in a competitive market, they can turn sharp very quickly. Jacques managed to keep all three viewpoints in mind and still move decisively forward. And I think that came from something deeper than tactics. He believed in principles. He valued the long view over shortcuts and lasting success over quick wins. That philosophy showed up in business decisions, but it also showed up in how he treated people. Let me take you to one of the most memorable parts of his style: the press sessions. These weren't the quick, polished events we're used to today, where everyone is watching the clock and hoping to leave with a neat quote. Jacques' sessions became real conversations, sometimes stretching for hours. Just imagine that for a moment. Journalists and an airline executive actually debating ideas, exploring what's changing, challenging assumptions. He even had a habit of putting his watch right on the table, because once the discussion came alive, time stopped being the point. And then, after an entire day of heavy business talk, he would host dinners that weren't just formalities. They were elaborate, welcoming, and full of life. People left those evenings feeling like they were part of something bigger than a transaction. It wasn't networking in the shallow sense. It was community. That combination of sharp thinking, openness to others, and genuine enjoyment of life made him distinct, and if I'm being honest, it raised the standard for the rest of us. I've covered the air cargo beat for 54 years as of this April, and in all that time, I've seen how rare it is to be respected not only by your own organization, but by your competitors. Jacques had that. Even rivals viewed him as someone who wasn't merely playing the game, but helping define where the whole industry was heading. What's also interesting is that not all of his ideas landed easily in the moment. Some of his thinking, especially around reshaping relationships with forwarders, struck people as too bold, maybe too disruptive for the era. But if you fast forward a couple of decades, you'll notice something. Many of those once controversial approaches became standard practice. That's usually the mark of someone who was simply ahead of the calendar. The industry eventually caught up to the future he was already describing. And when Jacques retired, plenty of people expected a second act. Another role, another headline, another reappearance. But that's not what he chose. He stepped into a quieter life. Family, time, and the simple pleasures that most people postpone forever. There's something powerful about that decision. After helping reshape an industry, he didn't chase the spotlight. He just lived. Still, his influence never truly left. You can find it in the systems and strategies that became the foundation for modern cargo operations. You can see it in the confidence of the leaders he helped develop. And you can hear it anytime seasoned professionals talk about what excellence in air cargo leadership looks like. So when people refer to Jacques Onchair as a Dutch master of air cargo, it's not a casual compliment. It's recognition that he helped sketch a blueprint the industry still follows today. And maybe that's the real legacy. Not only what he built, but how many others are still building because of him. Jacques, happy birthday, and many more. Sail on, and best wishes. Thank you for being here for this moment, and for giving us another chance to say what should be said out loud. You made air cargo look good, for your friends, and for the generations that followed. That's our Flying Talkers broadcast for April 29th, 2026. Thanks for listening. For now, until next time, good night, Joe, wherever you are.